LOVC. Right, this is 30 records from the 90s. These are all first pressings, all albums, no compilations. And I do have a few comps as well, but maybe show those for another time. But these are all 90s albums, first pressings. Many are from the early 90s, sort of 1990, 91, 92, those kind of years, when records were plentiful on vinyl. But sort of like you go into sort of 93 and it just become a bit, well, obsolete. Yeah. But so yeah, many of the early era of the 90s. I do have a few later 90s as well. So I'm going to start off with my Oasis first pressings. I know I've shown these before, probably several times, but I'll show again for the sake of this video. So we've got Definitely Maybe, original, came out in 94. This copy is probably, I don't know, very good. Record is near mint, but the cover isn't quite so good, unfortunately. But still an original, and rather expensive. So yeah, glad to have these in the collection. The second album, What's the Story, Morning Glory, first pressing. So yeah, there you go. Great albums. And of course, Be Here Now came out in 96. I think it was 96 it came out. Not as good as the first two. Tracks are too long. There's a lot of indulgence in some of these tracks, but still a great album, and this was a really good album at the time. I think as the years gone past, it's become less enjoyable, and yeah, I think I quite often not skip the album. I do listen to it occasionally, but I do struggle to listen to all the tracks, in their entirety, without the temptation of skipping through on some of them. But still a really, really good album of theirs. So yeah, Be Here Now. Right, so yeah, going into the more early 90s now, we have the Blue Aeroplanes Beat Songs. This came out in 91, I believe. And it's a good album, actually, this is. If you see this in the wild, pick it up. I would say it's indie music. It's a good indie album. So yeah, rather liked it. So yeah, pick that one up if you find it. These aren't particularly expensive, these albums, but one day they might go up in price. So we've got Alison Moyet here, Hoodoo. This only cost me like £6. I got this year sometime. So yeah, a 90s Alison Moyet album, Hoodoo. We have The Farm, Spartacus, had a couple of hits off here. All Together Now, of course, and Groovy Train. So yeah, early Farm. I have the Gabrielle's debut album, which made her a big star, Dreams. It's a big hit of hers. So yeah, Gabrielle, just Gabrielle, first album. We also have a bit of R&B, because I do like R&B in the 90s, particularly in the 90s, where it was good. And this album is H-Town, Fever for the Flavour. Features the song Knocking the Boots, which I've always liked. Also got the 12-inch single in the back there as well. So when I have the 12-inch single with the album, I normally marry them together. We also got James, Gold Mother. Not the debut album. This is probably mistaken by a few who think this is their first, but it actually isn't. I had about 2 or 3 albums before this in the 80s, but this is the first one of the 90s. Gold Mother. Also, I put the 12-inch singles I own in there as well. So we have this one, How Was It For You? And also Sit Down, the big hit of the album. So yeah, Sit Down and How Was It For You. Was there any others on here? Come Home, of course. Come Home. I don't actually have the 12-inch of that, but maybe one day I'll pick it up. Jimmy Now, Growing in Public. I think this would have been his third album, I think. I think he had 2 in the 80s, didn't he? I think. And this one. It was, a bit of a big thing back then, sort of that era. He had number 1 with Ain't No Doubt. Laura, we'll see, was a single of this album. So, yeah, pretty successful at this time. And he went on to do other good songs as well, Crocodile Shoes and the Big River. U2, Zooropa. This was a charity shop find years ago for £1. Even left the label on there. So yeah, this is a bit different really from the earlier material. So but I'm glad to have it in the collection. I mean, for £1, you can't really complain really for a U2 album. Kylie Minogue, Rhythm of Love. This came out in 1990. This is an excellent copy of this particular album. Better the Devil You Know is on this album, which is a single of hers. So yeah, lovely, isn't she? Lovely Kylie Minogue. We also have Lisa Stansfield, just self-titled. This came out in 1990. I'm not too sure of the singles on here, what they were. I'm sure it'll come to me later on, but that'll have to do for now. Roger McGuinn, Back from Rio. Tom Petty was involved in this album. He also, the single King of the Hill, he features in that song as well. They actually had a bit of a bad time creating this album, Roger McGuinn. The original writer he had for this album wasn't particularly all that great, and it upset Tom Petty, and Tom Petty got involved and rewrote some of the songs and just made it a better album than what it initially was going to be. This album also features different front cover as well. I think there is a version with a world on the front cover, if I'm not mistaken. But this one is a picture of Roger with his guitar. So yeah, Back from Rio. Good album actually. I like all the songs on here. Someone to Love, Car Phone, You Bowed Down, Suddenly Blue. These are all good songs. So yeah, one for Roger McGuinn. Simply Red, Stars. This was a big album for Simply Red. Something Got Me Started, Stars, Thrill Me, For Your Babies, all big songs. Good album, Simply Red. Early 90s, of course. So jumping into 96, we have Space's debut, Spiders. They had some pretty big hitters off here as well. Neighborhood, great song. Female of the Species, that's a great song. Dark Clouds was a single off here as well. But it's also got some really good deep cuts. This was the first CD I actually bought. And it cost me like 10 pence or something. Picked it up from a book fair. I used to go to book fairs with my dad, and there was this seller selling a few CDs, and this was one of them. And I picked it up and paid with my pocket money. I was delighted to have it. So yeah, Spiders. Anyway, the deep cuts are great. Mr. Psycho, Money, Me and You versus the World, No One Understands Me, Voodoo Roller, Drop Dead, Major Pager, Kill Me, Charlie M, Growler. It's just fun, light-hearted stuff. It doesn't take itself seriously. It's just a fun album. lot of silliness, a lot of sort of pretending to be psychos and murderers and this kind of thing, different kind of personalities, um, malevolent personalities. But it's just fun. And it even has the original HMV sticker of $9.99 on the back. So there you go. And on the front as well, look, HMV. So yeah, first pressing, 90s. We have the Soup Dragons Love Gold. Features the hit I'm Free featuring Junior Reid, of course. So yeah, and it's a pretty good album actually. Rather like it. Rather like it a lot. Del Shannon's 90s album. This was sadly his last album he made. Yet again, Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne's involvement. Jeff Lynne produced it. Walk Away, I think, was a hit of the album, and yeah, they were thinking about getting him involved with the Travelling Wilburys, but sadly it didn't come to be. But there you go, Del Shannon's Rocker, and it's a good album as well. This was a big album, Diana Carroll, So Close. It features 6 hit singles, one of them being Special Kind of Love. Don't ask me about the others, I can't remember what they were, but yeah, big album of Diana Carroll's. I also have the 12-inch single of Special Kind of Love in the back there. So yeah, as I was saying about Travelling Wilburys, Volume 3 came out in 1990, and this is the original for $3.99. Yeah, vinyl was cheap as that even back then. So yeah, I have Volume 3, and we have the original first. Volume 3 features She's My Baby, Inside Out, Will Be Twist was a hit, and yeah, it's a good album. Not as good as the first, not quite as good as the first, but still very good, and it's worth picking up. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Into the Great Wide Open. This is a great album. Off the back of Full Moon Fever, this came out just afterwards. Features the song Learning to Fly, which I have 12-inch of as well as some others as well. King's Highway, Into the Great Wide Open, I love that song. Two Gunslingers is a great song as well. So yeah, great Tom Petty album. 1990 I think it came out. Was it 91? I can't remember. Sybil, always liked 90s Sybil, and this is the album which came out I think in 93, I believe. Features the song Love I Lost and When I'm Good and Ready, which I also have the 12-inch version of. When I'm Good and Ready, great pop song, really great pop song. And of course the Love I Lost, West End featuring Sybil. So yeah, 2 great 90s pop songs of Sybil, and of course the West End. So yeah, all on this album as well. Soul to Soul, Volume 2, 1990, the new decade. So yeah, this is Volume 2. I don't really know why they called their albums Volume 2, Volume 1, Volume 2. They're just albums, they're not compilations or anything. But Soul to Soul. And the I think it is it? Back to Life isn't on here, is it? That's on the previous album. So I couldn't tell you actually the hits off here, but I know Back to Life is off the first album, I believe. Not on this one. Not that really matters. Monica, Miss Thang, more 90s, great 90s R&B, and also have the 12-inch single of Before You Walk Out of My Life, and that is just a lovely, lovely R&B song. I actually have two versions of that in here. Not quite sure why. I have a copy of that on that as well. So I think there are two versions. I think, or was it just one's a picture disc and one's a generic cover? I'm not sure, but I have the album, and I'm glad I do because it's a good album. Mariah Carey, Emotions, the second album. Of course, Make It Happen was the hit single on here. Also have the debut as well, Mariah Carey, just self-titled. Vision of Love, I think, was the single of here. So yeah, I think this was 1990. This came out. Stunning, isn't she? Absolutely stunning woman. I have Paul Simon, The Rhythm of the Saints. Early 90s album as well. I also have Krista Burr, Power of 10. Early 90s album. So yeah, I have this on CD. Firstly got it on vinyl, then I got it on CD. And I do like Krista Burr. Actually, I do like his albums. Very nice. This was a charity shop find. Tubular Bells 2, Mike Oldfield. Pretty pricey record considering what I paid for it, you know. But yeah, I managed to pick it up for like a couple of quid. So I got lucky. I had this on CD. I've always liked Tattoo on here. A particular track I like is Tattoo. And yeah, not a bad album. Not a bad album at all. Scorpions, Crazy World. I'll say one of their best 90s albums. And they kind of weren't quite so good in the 90s. My understanding of the Scorpions, they weren't quite so good as in the 90s as they were in the 80s. But this isn't a bad album, actually. And it's a loud sounding record. I played it the other day and it sounded really, really good. This was a charity shop find for £1, can you believe? 2 or 3 years ago. So yeah, it's a shame the charity shop which I brought it in had gone. And it went pretty soon after I picked this out. But I think I brought a couple of albums in there. This was one of them. And it literally went within weeks of me buying it, unfortunately. I just went in there. It never had anything particular in the way of records. And then I went there towards a couple of weeks before it went, and they had a load of records in there, and they had that. So I bought that for like £1, and one or two others as well for £1. Really good finds. And then finally, 30th. This is the 30th album, Aletta Adams, Circle of One. So yeah, another R&B artist. Wasn't massively popular, but she had a few hits, such as Never Knew Love single. And also Rhythm of Life as well. It's got a charity shop, Salvation Army sticker on there for 50p. So yeah, must have got it from there. So yeah, there's 30 albums, 30 90s albums, original pressings. Some are worth more than others. I can imagine a lot of these cheaper ones will climb up in price at some point, as you know, 90s vinyl was pretty scarce. Well, towards the latter half anyway. There's a lot of early material out there, but as well as you can see in the video, that there's a lot of early 90s albums here. But finding anything sort of after 93 is it's no easy task. But it can be done. You can amass quite a nice 90s collection if you're out there looking for records, and there are bargains to be had. So you know, 90s is an era that you're interested in. You know, you probably be looking at the early part of it. years later into the decade, you're probably going to be shelling out a bit of money. But there you go. There is my 30 original pressings from the 90s. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's been a lot of fun. It has been nice to listen to some of these albums actually whilst I've got them out. So until next time, everyone. Bye for now.